So I'll let this guy head off on the worker for the moment. Okay, so what do we got? Weeds growing, needs a hoe. I could say something less than appropriate there, but I'll leave that one alone. Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms and welcome back to Elm Creek New Farmer playthrough. So we are starting off today with topping up our greenhouses. So we haven't done this for a few days, so I'm expecting them to be quite low. So we'll go on to tend to these quickly. So we've got our wheat planted on the go, just awaiting a couple more growth states. So these are actually quite a lot lower than I thought. Actually, they might even be empty. Yeah, so we've got our wheat planted, it's growing, it's fertilised, ready to go. Haven't had to deal with any weeds or anything as yet, so we've recently just turned those settings back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park up here, let this fill, and then what I'm going to do is I've had a bit of a, so let's just jump into the build mode so we can have a fly through. I've tidied up the farmyard a little bit, so I put some things into storage here. We've got the grain feed for the chickens. I've moved the low loader out the way. I'm going to use our auto loading trailer for the eggs, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to utilise the low loader potentially for some big bags, so fertiliser and seed potentially, so we might do that today as well. But one thing I've been thinking about doing for a little while is extending some of these fields, so what I'm going to do is probably extend this field, put a bit of a curve in it, bring it out to about where this question mark is, and then curve it back in this way, and then go from there. So it just gives us more farmable area, and I'm probably going to do the same just here. So I'm going to bring this curve around and line it up with this dirt track just to extend it. Like realistically, I could probably even extend it into here as well. So that's a bit of the plan today. So we are actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep, see if we can land anything interesting in the used vehicle sales. So we've got a Profi liner, so this is not auto load, but this could be good for big bag transport. It's only 16,000, so I'm going to grab that, and we're going to go the Krone brand. Right, let's grab that. High dump bucket, we don't need that. Okay, let's dump a bit more wheat into our chickens. Okay, let's grab our T8, and we'll grab the lizard subsoiler, and we will have a crack at expanding these fields. So obviously I've got some crop in there at the moment. I probably should have done this before I planted it, but not too big of an issue. The other thing too is I've got crop destruction turned on, so this is going to be slightly more difficult than it otherwise would have been. So I'll probably lose a little bit of crop here, but at the same token, you know what? It is what it is. A little bit of pain for a little bit of gain. So I'm thinking I'll probably bring it out to where this question mark is, and then we'll bring it back sharply into here. So I'm going to flip this plough around so we don't damage too much crop. So the good thing about this plough is we can plough backwards as well as forwards. So let's see if we can't square this off. Great. Alright, we didn't have too much of an issue there. So we will lose a little bit of crop here. After the harvest, I will come back and just fix up these edges a little bit. I mean, I could have waited until harvest time, but I'm impatient and I'd like to do it now, so strike while the iron is hot, as they say. Now the only issue I foresee is going to be the loading and unloading of those egg pallets. So I'm hoping the position of the auto loading trailer that I've got there will help with either if I'm using the telehandler or another method. Okay, I'll square that off there. We'll basically be able to use that to collect those eggs. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice a bit of crop here just to get this angle a little bit more uniform. So let's go allow create fields. So I'm just going to draw it out. I'm going to go pretty close to these trees. So look, you don't have to do this, but this is just something that I like to do. And we're still got to retain a little bit of that path. And I'm just going to bite the bullet and go straight in the middle here. And then join these two together as well. So why would you want to do this? Basically, it's to increase your farmable area. That's basically the bottom line. Okay, so that'll do. Let's lift this up. So I think eventually what I'll try and do is I'll purchase field 50 and 51 as well. And I will join them together. Which is what I've done before in other playthroughs. And then that'll give us a pretty large farmable area. So let's get this plough in. And the other thing I have been doing is using those headland rows and doing the perimeter of the field first, which has just helped us able to navigate the field a bit better. So I think I'll continue to do that. Alright, nice work. And we've still got a bit of an access road, which will swing around to the right. So when I say around to the right, what I'm talking about is through here, down this way, and then up this way. So we'll look to probably join. We can still drive through here. It's wide enough, and then we'll probably look to clear out these trees. To be honest, so that's going to be another job for us, and I've got the perfect tool in mind for that. All right, let's lift this guy up. Alright, what I want to see is if this auto-loading trailer will auto-load from this position to pick up those eggs. So I've got a feeling that I need to be connected. So let's have a look here. So if I'm connected and I grab the telehandler, in all honesty, this chicken coop has probably got to be moved at some point. So if we go like this, if we just drive up to it, we'll get the auto loading trigger. Okay, that's good to know. What if we do this without the tractor attached? Because if we can do it without the tractor attached, it'll just speed up our stacking, because obviously we're not having to finesse the so it's picking it up straight away. So even if I do this, I won't drop it in there, but not pretty, but okay, cool. Alright, let's see if we can't go and pick up some seed in the low loader. What I was hoping is we'd be able to connect this, but I've got a feeling we're not going to be able to. No. Alright, not to worry. That'll be a job for possibly tomorrow. Okay, quick recap. So we've got a bit of a field extension happening. So we'll fix that up once the crop is harvested. We'll do the same here. Truth be told, we could probably... yeah, we'll just leave that for now. Field 50, how much is field 50? So I think field 50 has got soybeans on it currently. 114,000, let's buy that. Let's go and have a look. Okay, soybeans. We've got soybeans here. We've got our wheat. And yeah, that'll be part of our field expansion. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep. So if I get into a vehicle closer to the house. What I should do is actually get a vehicle and park it just here, just as a trigger point to get into the house quickly for sleeping. 15,000 property income, still growing. No weeds as yet, as far as I can see. Yep, one more day and that'll be ready. Soybeans are ready, so let's go and get them up. Now we should be able to drive down that ploughed path we just put in. So that'll help us in this harvest. One thing that you can do is get rid of this little bridge here. So you don't get any money for it. Just means every time we drive through this little dip, we're not going to run into... Not going to run into it. Alright. Let's get our harvester cranking. So I'm just going to go straight across here. While we're doing that, let's have a quick look at the used vehicles. So we've got a forage wagon. How much is that? 50 grand. We'll have a look at that in a little bit more depth. And just admire the combine doing its thing. I mean, nice animation for PS5 anyway. PC graphics are a little bit more high quality. Alright, make sure we don't drive in the crop this time. So I'm just going to divide this field up into basically two parts. Now I don't think, if you're using a worker, I don't think you get the crop destruction penalty. So say for example if this guy was to drive onto our wheat as a worker, I don't think we would have an issue. But just to preempt that being a problem, I'm just going to do a headland strip here. Then go along to our left. And then send him back the other way. Alright, let's dismiss that worker. Alright, and we'll line up now for a worker to do the remainder of this section. Alright, eggs. Let's go and load these eggs. So not a full pallet, but it doesn't matter. So I think if I just do this, that'll speed up our loading quite a bit as well. If I can get my forks out. Okay, good stuff. Okay, I've driven on the crop here, but I'm gonna corner off this field a little bit. Alright, let's go and meet up with our combine. So I'm gonna take it around on the roadside, and then we'll swing back through. Hopefully we don't hit this bridge with our wide wheels. Truth be told, we probably don't need to unload, because this usually soybeans are pretty low yielding crop. So if we just jump into the combine again, yes, we've only got 4,000 litres so far. Not a huge amount. So let's just check our fertilisation quickly. Still needs lime. Alright, forage wagon. So, I mean, this is a good price actually. What's the discount on this? 56. That's yeah. I'm gonna grab that. So let's buy that. Wheelie grab, we don't need that. How's the chicken feed looking? 6,000. What we probably need to look to do is, yes, I'm going to leave this for the moment. Oh yeah, so see this. So we're not getting the crop destruction because the worker is doing it, but if that had been us driving, we would have got the crop destruction there, so good to know actually. What else can we do? Let's go and top up our greenhouses. So this should be full. It'd be good if we could get a truck soon. That would be very handy. And possibly a forklift or a second telehandler. So I want to keep one potentially stationed at the store so I can load up big bags and stuff. I mean, not critical. It would be nice to have. Right, might have to do 2 passes here, so we're just topping up a little bit each one. Okay, that combine's done. Alright, so I'm not going to worry too much about a little bit too early on the draw there. Let's get a bit closer. So I'll let this guy go off on a worker. We'll go and check on the greenhouses again, so they're empty. Let's go and refill. So while this guy's refilling, we should be able to get back into the combine. Just in time. So I'll take over from here. We'll do a headland strip up the end here. Oh, what's going on there? Missed a little bit, dude. That might have been me, actually. Truth be told. There we go. Okay, let's reverse. Just make it a little bit easier for this combine to turn around on the return run. Alright. I have to move this dude. Alright, let's check out the field condition currently. So what do we got? It needs lime and probably ploughing. So let's get our plough on. So this guy's going to be filling for a little while, so let's grab the lizard subsoiler. If I can remember where I parked it, I think it was around here. We've got 2 Kuhn Espero seeders now, so that's going to be something we will utilise. Probably really on the hunt for another large tractor. So if we can get 400 horsepower or above for a reasonable price, that'd be what I'd be interested in. Just to give us a bit more flexibility with what we've got to do in terms of planting and other such things. Alright, so am I going to join these fields? I think I am. Alright, let's cruise down here. So we're going to have to cut into our wheat a little bit. Okay, so let's allow create fields, lower. And we'll just take out a tiny, probably 1 row's worth. So I've got a tutorial on how to restore the ground state, so how to put these tracks in, so how to make them look like they were always there. So if you ever do this and you want to restore it back to the way it was, I mean, it won't be exactly the way it was, but it's pretty close. Plus you can just start to build your own farm roads and tracks, which is really it's encouraged by the developers, and you can sort of see the clues in the map setup for that. Oh, don't drive that way. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll leave this plough here because we are going to come back for it. Let's go and top up these greenhouses. So, truth be told, I should probably go this way because it will be quicker. Oh, missed that by a mile. Now I think I did let the greenhouses run dry, to be honest. That's why they're so low. So that's why they're so thirsty. Alright, let's get overloading. Now my understanding is once they go empty with water, they shouldn't actually have any productions visible. So they're full, those ones. Like the lettuces will just go to dirt to signify that nothing's being produced. Okay, so this should service these 2. Alright, let's get this refilled. Let's head back over to where our subsoiler is, and we'll get cracking on that ploughing. And our combine is due to be emptied, so let's do that first. So we'll jump in this guy, dismiss the worker, try and negotiate. Actually, what I'll do, I've done this before, So you just drop the header off. Allows you to swing in. Do this a little bit easier. Alright, let's continue. Alright, stuff. Okay, let's get cracking on this ploughing. So we're going to go limit to fields. So just to double check. Yeah, that's what we want. And we'll get started on just doing this row, and then it'll do a headland row each way, and then I'll set this off. No, actually I won't do this with a worker, because the worker will likely I'll forget about it, and they'll plough their way into the wheat, and we'll have a ruined crop. So I don't want to do that, so let's just stick to doing it manually for the time being. Truth be told, we could probably afford to buy that field over there too. So field 51. You know what, I might actually check that. So I'll get this guy going this way on a worker. Okay, let's check field 51. 91,000. Alright, let's buy that. What do we got? Growing potatoes. Okay, I have no interest in potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plough these out. So I'm make sure we're getting the whole field here. And I'm going to join them together. So if we go... Okay, this guy is good. So we could probably look to lease another plough actually, but we'll see how we go. But we're gonna join all these fields together. That's going to be our game plan. So I'll let this guy head off on the worker for the moment. Okay, so what do we got? Weeds growing, needs a hoe. I could say something less than appropriate there, but I'll leave that one alone. Alright, let's leave that video there. Thanks for watching, guys. Just a quick recap. So we've harvested soybeans on field 50. We've done a bit of joining work on fields 47, 48 and 49. Fields 45 and 46 have got a small extension as well. We cut into our wheat crop a little bit, but that's just to give us a bit more room. We've substituted our low loader for the auto loading. I forget the name of this trailer, but it's an auto loading trailer for console. Greenhouses were running dry, so we've topped them up a couple of times. What else? We've purchased field 51, it's got potatoes in it, so we're going to plough them in, and then we're going to join all these fields together. So what we're going to do is we're going to plough, lime, and then fertilizer and seed after we've done this crop here. So this should be ready to harvest tomorrow or the next day, and then we can go from there. Alright guys, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, leave a comment below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.